Hello, everyone. I'm Devyn Gaydos, the marketing manager here at ClearEdge, and welcome back to Spark the Space, where the ClearEdge team shares all of our knowledge, expertise, and inspiration with you so that your marketing can be better than ever. Today, I'm joined by Nicole Cavanaugh, ClearEdge's creative consultant, and we're going to be chatting about creating a visual identity for your brand that actually works. So, Nicole, to kick us off,
Mhm.
what's the biggest misconception people have about creating a visual identity?
The first thing is always your visual brand is more than your logo.
Mm,
A logo is a big component of your brand, obviously, but it's not the end all be all. And I always like to say your visuals just can't be pretty. They need to make sense for your brand and who you are. The way I kind of approach a visual identity is I like to think of it like an outfit. An outfit is something that you put together and think of it as an outfit for something important that you've planned, maybe like an interview or a first date, or I don't know. But you're trying to give a first impression very quickly. So you want all of the pieces of your outfit, of your brand to go together to make sense. You want it to fit well. You want to feel confident. So using that analogy for your brand, your logo could be your shirt, your color palette, maybe your pants, which are huge components of your brand. Just like an outfit you wouldn't leave without shoes.
right?
You wouldn't launch your visual brand without some supporting pieces like your typography, your imagery, your design principles. We're creating a system. Like you put this
Mhm.
outfit together, we've created a system for your brand.
Oh, I love that. Everybody understands that. You understand putting an outfit together and getting dressed in the morning. And I do love that you said nobody would leave without shoes. I would have said nobody leaves without pants. But like it's really it's good to know and like keep people realizing that like all of those pieces also work together.
Yes,
Like you
yes.
have to have all of them going together. One of the things that you mentioned is like moving beyond pretty. So, what are some elements that will make a brand's visual identity meaningful and
Mhm.
memorable rather than just pretty?
So I would say one of the most important things for your brand is to figure out your core values and
Mm,
align with that. So maybe you're a new company starting out and you don't have a set of core values, but you hopefully know who you are or how you want to come across in the marketplace. You want the brand to reflect that personality and you want it to make sense to your audience. So, when all of these elements come together, your outfit and who you are at the core, the identity won't be just cool or beautiful, but it should feel right
mhm.
and people will come back to it because of the way it made them feel. So that's the difference between something that looks cool and something that will actually resonate.
Mhm.
It's that emotional connection that will help the brand stick into people's mind, and it's very important. So it's a vibe.
I love how you mentioned like kind of matching your values and matching your audience. Like if you're, let's say you're a staffing firm, you're probably not going to go for a visual identity that a haute couture fashion
Mhm.
house is going to go for. Like you need to match what you do, but also what your audience is kind of expecting. And so
Yeah.
I think that's where that strategy comes in. And one of the
Mhm.
things that we kind of pride ourselves on here at ClearEdge is strategy. Everything that we do comes from a strategy. We're not just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what happens. So, can you walk us through a little bit about our process when we're
Yeah.
working with clients of connecting that strategy to design?
Yes, that's what I love about our process, is that strategy plays a huge part in it and that nobody's working on an island on our team. Our process connects brand strategy with design from the very beginning. So we're all coming together and working together throughout the entire project. Research is a huge component of our process. We want to make sure that we're positioning you in a way to stand out and that everything works together from the voice to the headline to the colors of your logo.
One of the things that actually appealed to me was ClearEdge's own branding. We
Yeah.
went through our own branding exercises a little while ago, and I remember I've known ClearEdge since long before we were this like beautiful, bright, bold brand. And it was that kind of orange and it was black and the vibe was totally different. And
Yeah,
it's so funny how quickly bringing in a visual strategy and connecting it
yeah.
to the way we talk, the values that we hold, like being bold is very, very important to us. And you can feel that in our brand now.
The ClearEdge rebrand was a really great way to figure out how we're all going to come together and like when certain components should step in and how we're going to use the research
And
and
you
important
build the
projects.
process that we do with our clients now, that it's like, okay, this worked for us and now
Yeah,
we can make it work for them.
exactly.
And when you're working on that strategy, you're working with the clients, what are some questions that organizations should be asking themselves before starting that whole visual identity design process? Or is there any advice that you would share?
Going back to what I said about values, you really need to know who you are
Hmm.
because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of directions that you can go in. So figuring out who you are at the core and who your audience is will help narrow that path down. And along with that, you really have to try to not be everything to everyone. I know
Yes.
it's enticing because you just want to bring in more customers or more clients, but it's important to find your path. And also don't follow trends just for the sake of it.
Hmm.
You need to make sure again that it's aligning with who you are and that it makes sense. And I say that because an effective identity comes from showing up consistently and authentically. And if you're just following a trend for the sake of it, it won't resonate with your audience. And don't be afraid to have fun. Like
Yes.
maybe push some things a little bit. And this is a great thing to do in a refresh. This is your chance to evolve and push some boundaries to create something that will not only excite your customers, but will energize your internal teams.
Hmm.
You're trying to create something that your internal teams will be proud to champion, which will really help push your brand.
The amount of times that I've seen, we talked about it a little bit when we were talking about things like marketing trends earlier in the year, using your employees as marketers,
Yeah.
as presenters of your brand and your services is huge right now. And having a brand that they're not like embarrassed to present or like shy or uncomfortable to present is huge. Having that aesthetically pleasing, but also like emotional and strategic visual identity, we're all very visual people. It means the world for something to appeal to us visually. And so I love that we have you on the team and working with our clients to make sure that we are bringing that strategy to their visual look because it's so important. It's so easy to say like I'll just grab whatever and make it work, but take the time. It's always worth the time. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for joining me today. You can connect if you're
Ooh.
listening with Nicole over on LinkedIn, or you can check out her work on her portfolio at nicolecreative.me. And as always, you can visit meetclearedge.com to see our beautiful brand refresh that we did and to get in touch with us about all that we do, including our marketing, our recruiting, and our leadership development services. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next time.